Welcome, everyone. I'm Laura DeFranco, the CEO of Brave Healer Productions, where we have a mission to wake the world up to what's possible, one brave word at a time. And here today to help me with that mission are some of the authors of a new book that we have coming out. This one is called We Lead, Building Connection, Community, and Collaboration for Women in Business. And before I introduce these amazing ladies to you today, I want to say a huge thank you to our lead author, AliceAnne Loftus. AliceAnne is the founder of the Leading Lady Ambassadors. And AliceAnne, you had a really big mission to bring these women together to talk about business building and leadership. And I was so honored to guide this book project with you. You have gathered together a stellar group, your ambassador women of authors together to really, really help business owners. Man, this is the book. I read the chapters and I'm like, if I only had this in the beginning of my business, I would have been catapulted at least 10 steps ahead, like instantly. So thank you so much for that mission. And I think I can speak for everybody in saying that we're grateful to you for leading this. So I have Chrissy Ray with me. She's the founder of Pongos Interactive, where she helps small businesses and nonprofits create and manage their online presence. Erin Harrigan is here. She's a Christian wife, empty nest mom, speaker, author, and business coach on a mission to help high achieving Christian women refine and scale their businesses without compromising their faith. And Maureen Porto is an award-winning portrait photographer, passionate about helping ambitious, camera-shy professionals create eye-catching headshots and elevated marketing images that attract ideal audience attention and drive sales. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to talk to all of you. Don't you love how y'all had some great alliteration in your bios? I swear I need an award for the bio reading, you guys. Chrissy, start the party off. Tell us about your amazing chapter.
Sure. So I'm chapter 7, and it's Breaking the Burnout Cycle, the Delegation Solution. And I wrote that because I have been burned out several times, as I think a lot of business owners have experienced burnout over the years. I've been a web developer for 28 years. Had to do a little math in my head there, but 28 years as a web developer. It's a very male-dominated field, or it has been a very male-dominated field for most of that time, and still is a little bit today. And not in when I first started, not very family friendly, not very, having a life outside of your 60 to 80 hours a week in the office friendly. So it was a lot to happen. And so I definitely burned out a few times doing that, trying to climb the corporate ladder. I started my own business 21 years ago. I started as a freelancer 21 years ago after trying to do it for other people for a few years and realizing that it was just not going to be a good fit for me. And so my chapter is about how I got through that and what I do now, which is the delegation. And it's not anything that's like groundbreaking or revolutionary. It's things that people, I think, they know, but they need to be told that they're not the only one that's going through that, and maybe just need to be reminded of how to delegate things and how to let go of some of the things that are keeping them from having the best life that they possibly can.
Oh my gosh, I think when you master delegation, it is groundbreaking. Like, I want you to talk more about the delegation piece. It is one thing to know that that's what you need to do, but especially in the beginning of business, at least for me, I was kind of afraid. I was afraid to hire that first person to delegate to, can't afford it. What if this happens? Blah, blah, blah. How did you work yourself through that?
Well, I had to mess up a few times. When I first hired, the first people I hired, I got really lucky. I do a lot of technical training. I've been doing technical training for most of my career. And so the couple of people that I first hired, I taught them how to do what I do. And so they did things my way. They knew how to do it. They were pretty good at it. But then I hired some people that they knew how to do it, but they didn't really know the right steps. They didn't know the right processes. And there was a lot of pushback when I would ask them to do things a certain way. So, I had to learn that, even when I do try to delegate, sometimes it's a matter of trying to find the right fit and trying to find the right people to do the work and do it the right way. But I've got my process where, one of the first things that I do is I go through and think about, what can I do? What can I do well? And what can I get other people to do? And then the hard part, I think, is figuring out the right people to do those things. And that can take a little playing around to get that right.
Oh my gosh, we could talk about this one for the whole interview. It's so important. Chrissy, thank you for being here. We're going to hear more from you in a couple of minutes, and I can't wait to share these strategies with you all in this book, because you're going to have like this toolkit again that will really help you avoid the mistakes and avoid some of those bad days. Erin, you're next up. Tell us about your amazing chapter.
Well, my chapter is chapter 5. It is the 4 keys to redefine hustle, how to let your faith break the chains of overachievement. I am a chronic overachiever. I like to say I'm a recovering driver, striver, and achievement chaser. So I spent about 30 years in corporate America, and alongside of that for a couple of years building my own network marketing business. And I was really successful because I was very driven. I had killer work ethic, and I would put my priorities in the order that would earn me the most achievement and the most money, which meant that I was constantly hustling by the world's definition in an aggressive way. And so I wrote this chapter about the lessons that I learned for me when I hit a wall in 2014 and woke up and thought, this is not what I thought success would be. I had all the outward success, but inwardly I was so empty. And for me, that inflection point led me to giving Jesus my life. And that shifted everything for me, because I realized as a super responsible person that I wasn't made to carry the world, and I can't carry it anyway. And out of that epiphany that day, and out of much learning over the next few years, when he began to shift me into coaching women, he gave me this roadmap. And this 4 keys is really about helping women who tend to be high achievers, who tend to like to control everything because we have a hard time delegating, like Chrissy said, because we like to hold on to it because only we can do it right. It's giving them the tools to breathe, giving them the tools to say, you don't have to be an overachiever to be successful. And there are some ways that you can implement in your life right now, whether you follow Christ or not. You can implement that and really lean into the knowing of what your gifts and talents are, and defining that, directing that, putting that into discipline, and then allowing that to develop, not just in your business, but in your life.
In terms of achievement, which was my drug of choice for a really long time, what would be the sign where you would help somebody understand that awareness where achievement turns to overachievement? I mean, we talked about burnout already, but do you think there's a sign before the burnout that we could be paying attention to?
To me, what I see in the women that I work with and I experience myself is when the chase of achievement gets priority over the things you say are a priority, like your family, your relationships, when that chasing of achievement outweighs your values. And suddenly you have, I believe, a visceral feeling that things are completely out of whack. To the outside world, you can see that I'm successful, but I'm miserable. I'm constantly working. The pieces are not coming together in a way that give me fulfillment. And that is a warning sign for overachievement for sure.
Yeah, I love that. I love, and y'all are going to be dropping golden nuggets of awareness today, which is what I think really this book can be for people too. If you can wake up a little bit inside your own patterns of the priority list is a big one too. You're making me think of sitting in the kitchen on my email or on Facebook, and one of my family members comes in, but I'm so locked in there
Yes.
that I'm like, either don't even know they walked in, or they're even talking to me and I don't totally get that I need to stop what I'm doing and
Yes.
pay attention, right? So it's a powerful thing. Erin, thank you so much for being here today. We're going to hear more from you in just a moment. Maureen, tell us about your chapter.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for having me. And I'm so excited to get to share this this podcast with Erin and Chrissy. I wrote chapter 9, which is Step Into Your Story, the secret to confident brand visibility that drives sales. As a former investment advisor and who transitioned into brand marketing photography, I quickly realized how important it is for women to show up authentically and confidently in their businesses. Learning a lot about brand marketing strategy. We know that it's really important that we connect with our ideal clients and that they see us and that they know that we exist. But there's a lot of really toxic messaging out there in the world that tells women that we need to be small, we need to be quiet, we need to be perfect or a certain size in order to have value and worth or currency in this culture. And it's something that I had struggled with. Probably doesn't take a psychologist to realize that I was much more comfortable as the photographer than the person in the photographs. And I think that's one of the reasons that this resonates with me so much. And I wanted to write this chapter to guide other women through part of that journey that I experienced, which is self-acceptance and really getting confident in who I am, imperfectly perfect, and how important it is to sort of do a little bit of the work so we can let go of past trauma or old wounds from childhood, incorrect narrations that we are still holding on to about where our worth and our value comes from. So we can sort of shed that and we can step into our lives, step into our businesses, step into the stage confidently and authentically, so we can really connect with our clients and drive sales and continue to build businesses and help others.
On this journey of self-development, and of course, owning a business is probably the most intense journey of self-development you'll ever be on. I see these levels of healing, of evolution, of stepping into the confidence that you're talking about. Writing, publishing, speaking, but you're making me think of my photo shoots, and first of all, to want one, period. Second of all, to show up for it after you've scheduled it, and then to stand there and be like, who am I anyway? And it brings up all the stuff, right? To stand there in front of a camera. So what's that thing you want people to know about that? You obviously are good at helping bring the me out of me. Mm-hmm. But what do you want us to know about that particular piece?
Just how important it is to kind of do the work, to connect with yourself, to sort of address some of those shadows that we like to call them, so that we can really shed some of that old messaging that we're carrying around, and really tap into, I feel like my superpower, if you will, is helping each business owner really tap into their unique value added characteristics, because there can be a million photographers or a million realtors or a million publishers or a million attorneys, but every single one of us carries unique characteristics and attributes that really serve our clients well. And tapping into that and amplifying that uniqueness is what helps our ideal clients find us and resonate with us as business owners. So I think that's what's most important, is sort of embracing who we are and our strengths and our weaknesses, so we can amplify our strengths and really connect with our clients.
I love it. It's an important part of being the face of your business, which kind of leads me into this next question I want to ask all of you. Erin, I'm going to start with you for this one. When you are the face of your business, you're leading, whether you think so or not. What's the most important thing you want people to know about leadership? How has that played out in your situation?
What you just said about whether you know it or not. Leadership is not a title. I know that's Leader's Not a Title is a book by Robin Sharma, but you are leading all the time. And you don't have to be in a particular position. You don't have to be at a particular level in your business. You really don't even have to have a business to lead, but leadership to me is walking your talk and doing that with an intentional integrity and a mind of service, because you never know who will hear your message. You never know who will encounter you, or maybe that person that encounters you is not your person, but they may know who the right person is. And so showing up that way is leading. It's showing up from a place of not a haughtiness, but a humility that says it is incumbent upon me to lead in the best way possible from my perspective, right? To honor my Father God and to honor others. We've seen bad examples of leadership, right? But those are the things that come to mind for me around leadership.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say the A word a lot, awareness. I think that the awareness is everything. With awareness, you get a choice. So if you realize that your presence matters, no matter who you're around,
that's right.
Then you might pick something different in terms of like what you're going to say, what you're going to do, how you're going to act, the choice you make. Yeah. Okay, Maureen, what do you want to add to this? What do you think is the most important thing you want people to know about leadership?
Well, just to piggyback on what you both have said, I think it's really important that we take the time for that self-awareness. We take the time for that healing, because I feel like with the self-awareness comes that shift in the mindset. And mindset is the greatest single asset any woman can have, certainly any businesswoman can have. But as a mother, as a wife, as a single woman, as a business owner, or as an employee, your mindset determines everything. And with that self-awareness comes the ability to shed old messaging and the confidence to step out and step into our businesses and step into our strength and our worth. And it really gives us the ability to shape the world differently, to honor who we are as female business owners and the strengths that we have with humility, and still get to go out and change the world. And I feel like some of that work is just so critical because it allows us to shift our mindset, which can change everything for a business.
Yeah, I think a mindset as an aspect of awareness is crucial. I call this for myself in terms of what I've done in my life and my business. These are my ninja moves of mindset. Like, you have to want to master this. And well, you don't have to, but when you want to master it, like you said,
yes.
Oh my gosh, world changing, life changing, business changing, all the things.
And I think for a long time, business owners don't recognize that. We spend so much time choosing the right attorney to craft our contracts, choosing the right web designer like Chrissy to lay out our website strategically and with the right SEO. We invest in great tax attorneys. We invest in marketing. We invest in all of these things, but taking a little bit of time to invest in ourselves and create that self-awareness, create that space for that healing, and spend some time on our inner work and our shadow work and all of the healing that comes with that. That is what can catapult a business to the next level, much more than anything else. Even the great photos, even the great website, even the right attorney or the right placement of print ads doesn't do as much as that healing and that inner work?
Oh my goodness, I love this topic. Okay, Chrissy, how do you want to answer this? What do you think is the most important thing about leadership? How has that gone down for you?
Well, I think leadership is really about modeling the behavior and guiding people towards that. I know I've seen a lot of times people think leaders are, well, a lot of times the people that are perceived as a leader is whoever is the loudest and the best at self-promotion. And I don't think that they necessarily are good leaders. Unless they're actually modeling the behavior that, is sort of the ideal in whatever situation you're in. So, but I think the guidance is a really important part, and not just guidance in general, because you can guide people to do bad things, but guiding them to be the best possible version of themselves.
Yeah, I think the best leaders create leaders. I think that's a piece of that. So we morphed into it a little bit already because you gals started talking about leadership and then talking about what creates that success or that next level. And I kind of want to move into that, but in a way that I think all of you are going to resonate with. Most successful women that I know, business women in particular, have a badass self-care routine. And they understand the idea that you can only give when you have that overflow, the full cup and overflow, right? Without burning out anyway. Maureen, what's one of your favorite personal self-care practices? Tell us about that. Give us a little window into your day-to-day on that.
I wish it were day to day. I have some daily self-care practices, but I would say without a doubt that my favorite self-care practice is retreating to the woods. It's something I only get to do once or twice a month now as a busy business owner and a mom of two teenagers with, lots of family around. We have things that bog us down on the weekends or other commitments, but once or twice a month, getting to retreat to the woods, either by myself or with my husband, makes all the difference in the world for me. I feel like I'm an introverted extrovert, right? I love my clients. I love to connect with them. I give them all of my time, energy, and attention. But I've discovered in the last decade how vitally important it is for me to unplug and to go to quiet places, to fly fish, camp, hike for the day, just be in nature and just be quiet and just listen and just reconnect with myself. And it really does fill me back up. I can feel it when my battery is drained. I can feel it when I need to get out to the woods because it's been 2 or 3 weeks. And I can certainly feel the difference when I get back and I feel rejuvenated and I feel inspired again, from that quiet time and that reflection and that just resetting my whole system. And I think for me, that is the differentiator for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think, woods or the ocean, but I actually lean towards woods more a lot of the time. I don't know what that's all about, but I love that.
That's beautiful.
Nature connection, earthing, all the things that help you raise your vibe in nature. It's just, so you're making me want to go for a hike now. Chrissy, how about you? Give us a little window into your self-care routine. What's one of the things you love?
Well, I have bad posture and I sit at a desk all day, which are a really great combination for back problems and shoulder problems. So I get a massage at least once a month. I need it once a month. I go to another locally owned woman, small business owner, that does my massage every month and have a membership with her. And it's very important, very important to do that. And for me.
Really nice. Oh my gosh, yes. Yes, with an exclamation point. Sometimes when I can't get my butt to an appointment or don't feel like I have the time to squeeze that in, even just protecting 15 or 20 minutes on my foam roller by myself, just doing my own little bit of deep tissue on the roller. Like, I think we just don't schedule it in. And that's part of it. Like, it has to be VIP appointment scheduled, right? Or else you're just gonna get distracted by that next thing on your list. I love massage as a former physical therapist. Boy, I'd say that one 10 times fast. I know the value of treating the body tissue, like, and also just being able to kind of relax into body awareness. You know, I told you I was going to say awareness a lot today. Erin, how about you? What's the self-care routine that rejuvenates you the most?
Well, I do love a good spa day, and I do love the beach. For me, this comes back to me for scheduling rest, and rest is something that I think, equate to taking a nap, but rest can be so many things. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, sometimes it's me laying face down on the floor and praying. Sometimes it's doing a crossword puzzle. Sometimes it's reading a book. I think that we underestimate, especially as women, the value of rest and the value of that for our brain to reset. All of the things that you all said are so true, and those are incredible forms of rest. And rest can be as simple as going for a walk. It could be as simple as watching one episode of, whatever that show is. And we really overlook that. I love what you just said, Laura. Like, we just don't schedule it. And there again is where the priorities get out of whack. And we have to be aware of that. What Maureen said, like, she can feel it when she needs to go do that, and be the awareness that Chrissy shared of, I know that I need to go get that massage. So for me, it's, all kinds of different forms of rest. I don't know that I have a favorite other than just making sure I do it.
Yep, I'm with you there too on the schedule. All right, amazing women. Last words on a piece of advice for the business women listening. The one simple, easy entry point. If you were going to say, you really need to focus on this to take everything to the next level. Chrissy, what's yours?
This is something that stick to your zone of genius and hire people who can help you with everything else. I know it's difficult when you're first getting started because you don't have the money for it necessarily, but it's worth it in the long run because it'll help you avoid burnout, and you don't want to start off your business by burning out with it.
Totally agree with that one. Erin, what's yours?
Mine is, so many people get into business, women especially, who didn't have a business background, and then they think that they have to do things the way that they've seen on TV or the way that the other business people in their life have done it. So my line is, God made you ambitious, but he didn't make you to do business as usual. So find those resources. We talk a lot about community in this book. Find that community, because if you have a business idea on your heart, you get to do it your way. You don't have to do it the way you've seen everybody else do it.
I wrote that whole poem on businesses not usual. I love that inspiration, Erin.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to share that with this community too. We do not do business as usual around here. Maureen, you are going to close us out today. What is your one simple piece of advice for people?
You are worthy. You are worthy. Ignore the messaging that is being fed to you by people who want to sell you products, services, and beauty creams. You are worthy, and you work hard in your business, and you deserve the visibility that will take your business to the next level. Don't shy away from that spotlight. You earned it, you deserve it, and you're worthy of it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Chrissy Ray, Maureen Porto, Erin Harrigan. Thank you, ladies, so much for what you do in the world. And thanks for being here to share it with everyone today.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
So, y'all, if you heard something that was resonating, giving you the goosebumps, I don't know, just scroll on down to the show notes right now and click on the websites. I have all of these powerful women hooked up with their sites, their links. They are doing so many amazing things in the world. And the books that we create are so much more than books. They are generous communities where you can take this conversation to the next step with our authors. They're ready to guide you in whatever way you need support. So go find out what's going on with them. And remember, you can join us for a book launch party for We Lead. It's going to be coming up on November 17th, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to gather with all of the We Lead authors, and we'll be doing some fun celebration for this beautiful book. I have some information down below about the party. And if you're listening after that date, that means our book was already launched on Amazon, and you can go grab your copy of this powerful, powerful book, We Lead. Lastly, everyone, remember, your words change the world when you're brave enough to share them. So it is time to be brave. See you next time, everyone.